To answer your question, yes, we are two adult women. And yes, we love Bieber, and that's why we're publicly stalking him.
We're crazy.
Hey! Maybe he's what America needs. One nation under Biebs. We're gonna be two less lonely girls. We're gonna be two less lonely girls. We love Justin Bieber, and let us be clear, we're not being ironic at all.
Hosted by Corinne Fisher and Rosebud Baker.
Welcome back, everybody, to Two Less Lonely Girls. I'm Rosebud Baker.
I'm Corinne Fisher.
And
Rosebud's still happy as fuck. That was like,
Listen, we got
Rosebud
a candle
Baker.
going. We got a candle going. I just had a peanut butter bar. I've got my
Yeah.
coffee. I've got my Alfred. It's not my Alfred, but
Aw, he
we
could
are
be your outfit for this hour.
We are kind of soulmates.
Yeah.
Alfred loves the fuck out of me.
He does. He's a big fan of you. And he's pretty selective too. There's a lot of people he doesn't like, to be honest.
Yeah,
He has
animals
his
love
faves,
me.
though. He has his faves.
Animals love me, and I love that because I used to scare animals away. I was too needy.
Oh, I know people like that when you just like want to pet them too hard and you're like, Elmira.
Yeah, they're like, okay, yeah, Elmira, relax. And then I read Codependent No More, and now animals love me. So
You credit Codependent No More with your animal
my lack of
improvement.
Well, with my ability to, I'm self-sufficient emotionally.
It's so interesting. I heard so much about that book. I mean, it's not a book that I really need to read, but it just feels like one of the hits.
It's a hit. I mean, listen, I loved that book so much. I read it before it was cool, just to be clear. And it directed me where I needed to go in order to help myself. So that is why I liked it.
That's so beautiful.
I mean, no book can really do anything. You know what I
Right.
mean?
You have to implement this
You got to
stuff in your
change
real
your
life.
life. You got to get out of the house. I'm sorry, I'm PD right now. I'm literally PD Diabro.
Oh my God, he's great.
So it's been a crazy week in pop culture.
Yeah.
Crazy week. You've had a crazy week. You went to the Alanis Morissette concert, which I wanted to go to and didn't get my shit together enough to go see. So fuck me.
Rosebud
in the
tried
ass.
to get me and Tommy to get tickets, and we go, I don't think you understand the severity of this. Like,
I know.
and how much
I was basically sodomized for asking.
we had to jump through literal crazy hoops to get 2 tickets for ourselves. And Tommy walked around like the mayor of the Apollo Theater because he's been such a hardcore Alanis fan for such a long time that like I mean, like, I don't know if you've ever been a fan of someone so hard that you know other people at concerts
Yeah,
who you
I
don't
have.
who you like don't know, but that's me at Dan Byrne concerts. And
Yeah.
so Tommy is like that at Alanis Morissette concerts.
Yeah. Who was it that was talking about your Dan Byrne obsession?
It's a mental health professional.
Somebody was talking about it. Oh, it was the cops. Yeah.
It was the FBI.
It was actually the FBI. I was talking to the FBI, just cash.
Oh my God. What's funny because my Spotify, decade long results came back and my artist of the decade, not surprisingly, it was Dan Byrne. And
Wow.
I tagged him and he DM'd me. That's the kind of level of stalking that you can come to hear on Two Less Lonely Girls.
That's beautiful.
Well, I ran into him in a diner a couple weeks ago, just randomly in New
Yeah.
York.
Yeah.
Like I knew he was in town, but I didn't know he was in that diner. And then I walked. I mean, it all made sense because I know the hotel he stays at when he's in town. All right. Anyway,
I don't have Spotify. I have Tidal, which I know that's not popular to say on
oh,
here.
what, from Beyonce fandom? Is that why you have it?
Yeah, I support Black businesses.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Okay.
And,
Well, you need to counteract how white you are.
I do.
I'm way less white than you.
I'm doing what I can. All right. I'm doing what I can. I have Tidal. I've been on Tidal since Kanye's album came out, since Life of Pablo came out. And that was why I got it, actually.
What are your feelings on Kanye these days? Did you like his gospel album?
I liked it, but
Okay.
I get it why people were like, meh. There were mixed reviews, and I get that.
Right.
I liked it, but I really love gospel music.
I love gospel music too. I have a Anne Murray CD.
Yeah, I'm kind of like, a Jesus girl. Like I'm not.
That's white gospel.
I'm not into. I'm not into like. Did you say Anne Murray is Jesus? Is
It's white gospel.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like white religious music, but it's not. But it has actual soul.
Yeah.
That's why I really love Anne Murray.
Dude, I love the Anne Murray Family Guy episode where they go and they find
never
her.
saw it.
And Brian and Stewie like tie her up and they try it. And then
I love that they featured Anne Murray on.
They find out that
Family
she
Guy.
didn't write all of her songs, and they fucking tie her up. And like it's almost like a Stephen King. It's like Misery a little bit.
Okay.
It was a great episode. Anyway,
I find that.
I feel like that's what I would do if I met Justin and he was like, actually, I don't sing any of my songs. I'd be like, okay, sit down. We're about to have a talk.
Yeah, I could actually see you doing Misery to Justin Bieber as well.
Tie him up. I'm just like,
as well.
You fucking lied to me.
Yeah.
Anyway, what was I saying?
You were talking about Kanye and then
Yeah,
the title.
I don't know. Kanye's lost his fucking goddamn mind. He's absolutely insane. But he does help my boyfriend dress better. So that I'm thankful to him for that.
Oh, what does he look at his Instagram?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I follow people's Instagrams to influence how I dress too. I mean, I think Hailey Bieber has been really an inspiration to us all.
Yeah.
But the problem is Hailey Bieber has such a different body than me that I don't even, she's just more attractive. And I was like, this outfit, I would also look good in an oversized sweatshirt and sneakers if I was just a lot better looking.
I'm like, oh yeah, if I had a Barbie's face,
Yeah, if I just was...
I could also look feminine in a bag.
Yeah, if I was a foot taller and had, a different facial structure.
You know what's so funny though is like I'm so comfortable in shit like that I just don't care. Mm-hmm. I'll just dress like that anyway.
Yeah, I just in a different way. I like to dress like every day is Burning Man.
Yeah, you do.
That you should see.
That's
I'm having
so accurate.
Yeah.
You really do. You
Yeah.
are a fucking walking music festival.
I do. I love it. I never feel as at home as I do as like when I'm dressed with I need half my areola hanging out.
You never feel as at home as you do when you're out in the streets.
When I'm out in the
'Cause you
streets
are
and I love glitter.
playing dress up.
Glitter, fringe.
Yeah.
A not practical shoe.
Flare.
I love flare. I do
Love
look good in
flare.
a flare. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so funny because when flares were popular when I was a youngin', I was against them.
Yeah.
I was disgusted by them. But I was, that's who I was. Like anything that was cool or popular, I was like, absolutely not. No.
Yeah.
Like the Gap wouldn't shop there because everyone shopped there. Now millennials apparently hate the Gap. I was reading this whole article about all these businesses that are suffering because millennials don't like them. Gap is one of them. And I go, well, isn't that wild? Because I'm wearing Gap pants right now. I love the Gap. I keep going. I go all the time. Their jeans are great.
Yeah. I don't look good in Gap jeans. They just don't fucking
really?
fit me right. Yeah.
They fit me really well. I like Gap. I like Madewell.
Madewell's great. Mm-hmm. Madewell is fantastic.
Yeah.
That's where I got my leather jacket. Anyway, speaking of leather jackets, you went to a concert.
I did. That actually works because she was wearing some kind of a leather top.
I saw that.
And her first off, I have to address how huge her tits are right now.
Really?
It's the most important thing. She's
She
breastfeeding. No, she has like a 4-month-old baby though.
Oh, okay.
So she's actively breastfeeding, and she's one of those attachment parenters. So like she has like a 4-year-old. That one's probably still sucking on the teat as well. I don't know.
She's into attachment parenting.
Oh yeah, that's like the new thing. They're all into this fucking.
My therapist went off on attachment parenting.
Really? Can you please tell me about this?
Went the fuck
I'm so
off.
curious. What did your therapist say? Your therapist is like a dude too,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's oh God. You know what? I want to look. Can we take a research break?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
We haven't done this in a while.
Okay, research break.
It's a research break. Hey, yeah. It's a research break. Oh, wow, wow. Where we waste your time doing things we should have done ahead of time.
Okay, so somebody wrote to my therapist basically being like, attachment parenting and co-sleeping does not mean that you and your child are best friends. I can't stand it when people say they're best friends with their children. You're a parent, not a friend. You can be friends later when they're adults. I really think there is a huge confusion between an attachment parent and a helicopter parent. I'm going to look at your website because I like another well thought out opinion, but I really think there needs to be a clarification between AP and helicopter type parenting. They are not the same. So this is what my therapist wrote back.
This is on. Is this on
his website.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Thank you for your very thoughtful responses to my posts. Ultimately, intention is everything, and the clarity and genuineness of one's intentions are always a function of how self-aware and connected the person in question is to their own feelings and inner life. That being the case, the essence of good parenting doesn't reside in a particular technique or theory, but rather in the above-mentioned state of being. Attachment parenting, or any other method of parenting in the hands of a person who is not self-actualized, will be a cause of later dysfunction in the life of the offspring raised under those circumstances. The problems may not show up in full force until adulthood, when relationship, career, or mental/emotional issues appear, but show up they will. You may be right that attachment parenting is not in and of itself a faulty concept, but there are a lot of as-if parents out there trying to superimpose an approach or an idea over their own unmet psychological and emotional needs, and that is always at the expense of their children. Thank you for checking out my blog. Love to hear more from you. So basically, he's saying attachment parents they're really fulfilling their own needs, like their inability to allow their child to
grow up and become independent.
Yes. And he sees a lot of, and I don't think this is the case with Alanis. I think she's actually a very self-actualized human being.
She is, but I mean, like, her, there's a lot going on in her songs. She's really made it. She's done a lot of work.
But I think that's, she's done a lot of work, which is what I mean by like self-actualized.
Yeah.
But I think anyway, I wanted to put that out there because people don't necessarily know what attachment parenting is.
Yeah, no, I like that. And I mean, it's so funny because, Alanis is very open about sharing, her parenting styles, and she's very into like meditation. And she today just posted a picture of her like breastfeeding on, I don't know if it was like a plane or a train. I couldn't tell. It looked like an airplane window. But again, I mean, it's probably a private plane. I'm guessing, but you can have your tit out everywhere. People are still so weird about like breast out everywhere. But breastfeeding, and I'm just like, but I mean, it's breastfeeding. Like, people still get weird about it, and I'm like, that's one thing that I'm like very on board with, like breastfeeding anywhere. I mean, just as a woman, knowing what kind of a world we live in, I would want to breastfeed in private, but I like think that if a woman does, I'm not like, oh my God, why is your titty out? I'm like, no, like, your baby needs to eat. Like, believe me, if Alfred needed to suck on my titty to eat, that titty would be coming out. Yeah, probably. I mean, just so small, I don't even know how would even get it out. Yeah, I often worry.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Alfred.
No, my tit. I even wonder, like, oh, that would hurt. There's not a lot of tit meat there to suck on. But yeah, Alanis has 3 kids. I knew she had 3 kids, but I couldn't.
Oh wow, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, so this is her 3rd kid that she just had. That one's fresh. But her oldest one was born in 2010, and is turning 9 actually on Christmas Day. And of course they have really weird names, because I mean, but what's going to happen? That's like when you're married to a rapper named Soul Eye, like obviously that's going to happen. Yeah. So their first kid is a son named Ever. Then they had their daughter Onyx in 2016, and then their son Winter was just born.
Okay, those aren't too weird.
No, it's not too weird considering her. I thought Ever was a little. Because it's just hard when your name is a word that exists in the language that's going to be used often. Like winter is just a season, so that's fine. That's normal. Onyx, that's okay. But like Ever is like a little confusing.
I kind of like that one the best, though.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. I'm opening.
I like Winter the best. I also just love Winter. Like I would name my kid like Wednesday or like July or something.
Wednesday.
Yeah.
As in like Addams Family?
Of course, yeah.
Right.
I always thought Wednesday was like a really cute name anyway. I think it's by far the most like attractive sounding day of the week, Wednesday. Like I also like W and V names a lot. I think they're sexy.
I mean, not when
it's always good to think about
somebody
your
from
infant.
the South says it. When they're like Wednesday.
Oh, well I haven't spent a lot of time
my
in
dad
the
says
South.
it.
So
you gonna come over on Wednesday?
Wednesday?
Okay, so
the concert was Jagged Little Pill, acoustic. She was doing all this press because Jagged Little Pill, the Broadway musical, opened last week, and so she's been doing a lot of promo for it. She sang the entire album, Jagged Little Pill, acoustic. It was just her and two musicians. She sang. I mean, she's incredible at the Apollo Theater in Harlem.
Yeah, and it opened for previews last week, right? It's still in previews?
Well, I thought it was actual opening night. No, I thought it was like official because it's been. I don't know. That's a good question.
You might be right.
What was it? Because they were workshopping it in Massachusetts for so long. Mm-hmm. Let me see. Official Jagged Little Pill.
Which, by the way, I gotta see that. I really want to see that on Broadway.
You'll see it.
But how's her voice? Does it sound, is it just as good as it?
Oh my God. I honestly think her voice has gotten better because, I've seen her probably like a dozen times. I would say I've seen her, and Tommy's seen her many more. And I think sometimes in her younger days, she didn't have the kind of vocal control that she has now. So it's seriously gotten better. So her tits are huge. She sat the whole time, which I always just find very impressive because she kind of, I've never seen her sit and sing before. She usually kind of wildly roams around the stage, flinging her hair to and fro.
Yeah.
But she, and she was also just like a little bigger because she just had the baby. I honestly, her tits were so huge that it looked to be uncomfortable. Anyway, she didn't really address it, but just there was like weird stuff going on.
She gets up there and she's like, "Hey guys, I know my tits are big."
If my tits were that huge, I would have to say something about it. I don't know. Like if they were just that much larger than they were, I'm a straight woman. I couldn't stop looking at them. Yeah. And she had a really covered up outfit on. They were just like gazungas, like,
wow.
And you can see her raw tit on her Instagram if you want to just look. But yeah, the concert was incredible. We were in like the fourth row of the orchestra. Glenn Ballard was there, who has worked with Alanis on Jagged Little Pill, like legendary. Me and Tommy were losing our shit. Tommy went up and said something and like thanked him for being a part of the creation of Jagged Little Pill. So that was very cool to have him there. And she sang the entire album, including Your House, which is the bonus track. She started with that. And it was so nice just to be around.
Did you cry?
Yeah, I did cry. I didn't cry at the opening. When did I cry? I probably cried. There's some songs that really get to me. I don't know. I cried somewhere in the middle.
Was it You Ought to Know?
No, that didn't make me cry. Although I forgot about that song, and I forgot how much it really brought out how much anger I have towards my ex.
Yeah, it really does.
I was like, holy shit. I was like,
when we did our episode on her, it was sometime this past, maybe it was last winter. Mm-hmm. But I remember not being able to stop listening to that for about a month.
Yeah. The album is so strong. And I found myself getting mad at my ex again. And then I was also got mad again at that terrible woman who wrote the article that said that Jagged Little Pill doesn't hold up, which was the impetus for that episode that we did on it.
Right.
So I was like just getting mad at a lot of people during it.
Yeah.
But it was great. And it was great to sit next to my best friend. Alanis Morissette is one of the reasons we became friends, because we were just like going around a circle in college saying little, factoids about ourselves. And we both mentioned that we love Alanis Morissette, and that's just like a specific thing that has bonded us.
Yeah.
So like the track listing, it was funny because Alanis was like, "Oh, I feel very fortunate that I'm able to sing this album and everything really still has meaning for me." She said the only thing that she found in singing the album again, the only song that she felt she didn't connect with is the song Not the Doctor. And I found that very interesting because Not the Doctor is actually one of my favorite songs on Jagged Little Pill. And especially in recent years with kind of like revelations I've had about relationships, the lyrics mean more to me. And it's just how, as women in relationships, we are the mother, the doctor, the therapist for men so often. And it was really funny for me that she's been, after being married for a while to the same person, she was saying "Oh, I don't feel that way about my husband." And I was great. I was like, happy for you, girl. But, but she was kind of, the sentiment was not that she doesn't feel like the doctor, but more like she wants to be there to help him. And she also kind of in turn needs a doctor. And I was like, oh, so basically you guys are both fucked up together. I think is what we're getting at. I think they're like probably like
What makes you say
codependent. I just know Alanis is a lot. I know.
But what makes you say that?
What makes me say what?
That because from what was that a quote that she said that she was like, I don't relate to this song as much anymore?
Yeah.
And then she said this stuff about her husband, that she's not a doctor.
No. That was my interpretation that I linked into it. Yeah.
Okay.
No, I mean, I love her sentiment in this song. I think it's so strong and so like ahead of her time and such a worldly thing to realize at 19. Hell, if I had fucking realized a lot of this shit at 19, I would have saved myself a lot of time and trauma. And so it's funny to me that one of the most poignant, important, forward-thinking tracks on Jagged Little Pill, in my opinion, is the singular one that she no longer feels connected to. And while I would like to think it is because she is so open and vulnerable with her husband, I feel like it's probably just codependency. I just don't believe. I mean, just as someone who has done so much work and interviewing and reading on the structure of the heterosexual male-female relationship, I have yet to find one that really exists where someone is not the doctor.
Yeah?
Yeah. Even my bet, like the ideal relationships, the ones that seem like structurally the most sound, someone's still getting the raw end of the stick. This is not like
Do you think it's
I've spent a long time thinking about this.
Yeah. Do you think it's that because you have an advice podcast, you know? So do you think that it's because of that? Do you think it's because
part of it is I know too much and it hurts me? No,
I mean that you're beginning from the place of a problem with an advice podcast.
No, I mean, no, I didn't go into it.
I'm saying, like, you know, it's almost like
right
when you're researching the problem, you're not going to see examples of the solution.
It's not really like an advice podcast. It became that's not the initial, that Guys We Fucked did not start as an advice podcast. I guess what I'm saying is I don't think that there's a lack of examples of healthy couples. Oh, I definitely 100% do. I
think there's definitely
strongly.
Fewer.
Yeah.
For sure.
And it's not an unhealthy. It's more like the key is that in a heterosexual relationship, the woman is getting the less good of the deal. That's kind of what to boil it down to.
Yeah.
And then listen, I don't know Alanis, and honestly, Soleil sounds he even though his name is Soleil, I think he's like probably there for it, and it's probably pretty good, and I'm sure she's a lot to handle.
Yeah.
But I can't, because I can't find any real world examples. It's tough. Maybe my grandparents, I would say, actually is the best example of a functioning relationship.
Yeah.
That I know, as far as like people being pretty even as far as what they're getting out of it.
Right.
So yeah. I don't know. I would have loved to have my grandparents on.
Yeah.
They're great.
I mean, I want nothing to do. My grandparents are like, I don't even understand. Like, I look at them as examples, and I'm like, no, thank you.
Oh, you don't like their relationship?
It's not that. It works for them.
Right.
But it's not what I want.
Right.
You know? But I think ultimately we end up looking for we end up seeing these relationships that are a problem more so than the relationships that are good examples, because the good example is always the quieter one.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
You know, like, you don't hear as much from those couples because there's nothing to say.
Although I will say Chrissy Teigen and John Legend are pretty loud, and I think they actually have a good relationship.
Yeah. You know what I mean? They seem happy. And you look at them and you go, nice. This seems
no,
nice.
I like it.
But you don't look at them because they are they're not as loud. And the eye doesn't go there, because the eye goes to, at least the untrained eye goes to the one that is loud and boisterous and fucked up, and you know what I mean? And I think that it's in our culture to like to like go after those couples because we've been taught that that's romance. It's like this crazy whirlwind insanity, you know? And it's like,
I think people are getting a little smarter to it. I mean, I think like anyone older watching like the Bieber and Haley thing is like, yeah, there's a lot of red flags here.
right.
You know?
Right.
Yeah. And I think that's a way in a fucked up way, social media has kind of been good for teaching that lesson that you just kind of said, like it's the quieter the better. I know for me, like with my friends, like my best friend, you know, Tommy, like the less I hear, I know, like the better. And like I this boyfriend he's been with now, John, sorry, I think you listen, they've been together for like 5 years, but I don't hear as much about it. Like certainly not negative, because I'm like, oh, that's good. Like I like when I'm not hearing anything, I'm like, this is great. Yeah. Just in general with anything, I'm, you know, the same with everyone. When you hear a lot, even when I'm talking about someone a lot, and you go, oh no, this is a problem. Right. This is terrible. Yeah. This is terrible.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, so it was interesting to me also, like things that like you ought to know, like Alana still felt like in her heart was able to sing that. Because I'm wondering, because, you know, they did a little Q&A afterwards, and the guy was he wasn't the best interviewer. I was also spoiled because I had just seen Billy Corgan from Smashing Pumpkins interviewed in a very small setting, and that interviewer was phenomenal. Yeah. And Billy and Alanis are both highly intelligent people, but like, you know, Alanis can only answer with like the questions she's given. And he kind of was asking, are you still thinking about the same people and circumstances that inspired the songs originally? And she's like, well, no, of course not. She's like, I have new, you know, points of reference now that I go off of. It was interesting to me though, that like You Ought to Know would still be relevant. Cause I'm like, after being married for like a decade, who are you that angry at? You know, who?
I mean, that is exactly like you're married for a decade. I feel like
you think she's mad at Soul Eye.
Fuck yeah. I mean, a decade is a long fucking time to be with somebody.
Of course.
And you gotta have some resentment against that person.
It's funny because the person I was with the longest, which was half a decade, I'm not mad at all. Probably I'm the least mad at.
You know what? That's correct.
That's correct. I got it right.
I mean, I feel the same way.
Yeah.
Like the person I was with the longest, I have the least amount of resentment towards.
Because I think it's also like when there's a chillness that has to exist to be with somebody, that long.
Yeah. You gotta like.
I wasn't mad at him. I just was not in the kind of love with him that I wanted to be with a partner. And I would truly rather be alone. That's all. Yeah, that's all. But yeah, I mean, it was. I was so happy to be there. Like I moved the earth to be there. I like rescheduled a huge show that me and Christina had. Yeah. And like, I told her the real reason. I know this is going to sound psychotic, but she didn't think it was psychotic at all. She knew how important it was to me. I was like, truly, this is more important than like an actual family emergency.
Yeah. You're like, this is a family.
Within reason.
Emergency.
Yeah. I mean, it is. Well, and it kind of the thing is, it's like, I wouldn't be the performer I am or the person that I am.
It was such an intimate setting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like,
and it was also nice as someone who had lived in Harlem for 10 years to finally see a fucking show at the Apollo. I can't believe I had never done that before. So, you know, being in a legendary place and then being able to experience that, it was just, and with my best friend, was just really, really, really special. Just because this album, just time and time again, every time I listen to it, I go, this album is so important to me. Yeah. It's like, out of all the albums in the world, this is 100% the most important to me. Even though like, as an artist, the Spice Girls had a bigger impact, this is the album that had the impact, you know, since I was in the 5th grade. Yeah. It's like, I truly like, and it was really beautiful too, because it was just a sense of like real womanhood in the room. I think Alanis is like kind of one of my favorite examples of like what it means to be a woman. She has a womanly body. She's intelligent. She's outspoken. She's fiery. She's a good mom. She's a good parent. So that's the same thing. I have a good wife. I was like trying to avoid saying wife. and not that you have to be all those things to be a woman, but she kind of is like this very like ethereal goddess type.
She's a fertility goddess.
Yeah, she's just, you just sense it. You sense all the good and important and special things about being a woman when Alanis is in the room, and I don't really feel that way about anyone else.
I think the creative force of being a woman.
Yeah, she's like really in fucking touch with it. And looking around, seeing there was a lot of women there kind of just by themselves, but not in a sad way, or even if they were with a friend, they were kind of experiencing it on their own, and of all ages and races. And it's just so nice, like look in front of you, and there was like, you know, like a black woman who was like maybe 40 years old singing it, and then you look to your left and there's, you know, a girl who's maybe like 15 years old singing, and just like how it really brought us together as women. And like there were men too, and you know, I'm glad that they were there, but like to me it was just, oh, this is like such womanhood. Like, yeah, I love her so much. And she was talking a lot too, which Tommy, you know, noticed. He's like, oh yeah, she doesn't usually talk so much between songs, but she was like happy. She looked incredible. She looked like healthy, and just like and it's nice. And it's especially nice to, you know, for an album that came out of such turmoil to be sitting there, you know, like 25 years later singing it. And it's like, okay, everything's going to be fine. I didn't plan that, but I had to lean into it.
I mean, wow. I can't.
Thank you.
I mean, okay, so I didn't plan this, but speaking of turmoil, we have been tagged in several posts together.
Oh God, yeah.
In the comment section on Britney's Instagram this week. So we figured it was time. Yeah. It was time to revisit.
Yeah. Revisit our girl.
I was watching her videos on the way over here. It's like every other post is like, one post is like what you'd see if you were looking for a holiday gift on Etsy. You know what I mean? Like she'll just like candy canes. And then the next post is her being like, love being with my babies. And it's just her dancing. And then like her dogs will like make a small appearance.
She seems like she just like works out, dances, she does twirls a lot.
Britney's Instagram is like, if you put a camera in my bedroom mirror when I was 13.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I just look, it's like, I drank a milkshake.
Yeah. It's truly like her posts of her just like posing in the mirror are fully me when I was a teenager. Yeah. Like going through major hormonal changes and like hormonal chaos. And that's why like when somebody tagged us and was like, I think she might be off of her meds, which is like, she can see that, by the way. Kind of hurtful.
Yeah, I know. People are so fucking rude.
I'm like, oh my God. I do think I'm just like, yeah, that it does feel a little bit like that. It feels a little bit off the meds, off the rails, kind of.
She always feels childlike in a weird way, though, like in a possessed child in a horror film, though. Like she's 38 years old, and
truly the mascara is always running.
Yeah.
Okay, that is what I look like mid blowjob. Like,
I'm so curious what it would be like to be in a relationship with her, but I also don't think her boyfriend is highly intelligent. You know, like I just think they're kind of like, both a little dumb, but it's sweet and it probably works really nicely.
Yeah, it's like looking at like a golden retriever couple.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Like they just go
it's
out
like when
and
you see your dog sees their best friend at the dog park. You're like, that's like what I feel like seeing. Like they're just like, it was her birthday. And she's like, it's my birthday. And it's her roller skating. And then a picture of balloons, and then a picture of just a beach with cars in the like sandcastles that are built like cars, and then it's just her and him. Just it looks like a music video that somebody made on iMovie, and it's kind of like if it was my mom, I'd be upset.
Yeah, Britney always seems like she's not living in the year that everyone else is living in.
Yeah, she sort of picked a decade and stuck with it. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, because like even like she was bicycling that video that you showed me, or maybe I saw it, but like she's wearing number one, like pajama shorts outside, which that hasn't been in fashion in like 15 years, and even then it was questionable. And also it looks like everything she owns is like from the Pink collection by Victoria's Secret.
Everything is from the Pink collection,
which you're supposed to stop wearing when you're like 23.
Absolutely.
And
Agreed.
even 23 is pushing it.
Agreed.
I don't even allow myself to go in that section of Victoria's Secret.
Me either. I'm like, nope, that's not for you.
It's not for you.
I would like to.
Yeah.
I like neon.
Yeah, it looks comfy, but it's not for me.
No.
Not for me anymore.
I'm like, it's time to grow up. Every time I go on Victoria's Secret and I want to click on pink, I'm like, you don't need that sports bra.
No. Yeah.
You don't, it's not for you.
Yeah. You pay taxes. You don't do that anymore.
Right.
Well, it's
sometimes.
Okay. And so also like all those candy canes that you were referring to. So she's like obsessed with this photographer who's not even famous. No, not to be rude, but her name is Andrea McLean. And
that sounds like a wedding photographer.
Yeah, she seemingly just takes pictures of like yarn and pumpkins and flowers.
Literally,
and
all
skeleton
of her photos
keys.
are the photos in the photo frame.
Yeah, from like an aerial perspective. Mm-hmm. And as you might have thought, she does have an Etsy shop. I am going to visit it right now. Oh, and you can just buy prints of this. But to me, that is what, oh God, yeah, how Britney Spears is someone who would keep the picture in the picture frame because she thought it was cute.
Yeah, she also has a video where she's like, there's like ambient music in the background, and she's like, I've traveled all over the world and I've seen a lot of different places, but what I've learned is that home is where the heart is. And then she winks, and it's like, what? I'm always just like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Oh my God. And then and this is like an ongoing problem with like a lot of like female celebrities, especially ones from, our childhood. But like they'll put a picture of like chocolate pudding or something, and they'll be like, I'm being naughty. And it's like, please. We know that I'm sure have suffered from an eating disorder at one point, because to be that famous as young as you were it's almost impossible to avoid. And just fucking eat. Like we all want you to eat the pudding. You exercise with your hot boyfriend 73 hours a week. Like, please.
Yeah, she's also like, there's a lot of pictures of her in costumes. Mm-hmm. Like she still hasn't stopped posting about Halloween.
And then also I love that she went to like just like a generic Halloween store, and she's like, we went to this crazy store, and I was like, oh, you mean a Halloween store, Britney?
Yeah. Here was the cool place we went to get our crazy costumes.
Bitch, you're rich. Why are you buying a plastic bag costume?
Yeah.
You have $1 bazillion. Someone could have made you something.
Yeah.
It's crazy to me that she just went to a Halloween store and bought a bagged costume.
I know. She's like talking about it like it's this this vintage shop she found.
Yeah, I know, because even I swiped with the caption. I go, oh man, where do celebs of this caliber get their Halloween costumes? And then it's literally like Spirit World.
Yeah, it's
Are you fucking kidding me?
It's like Halloween.
Yeah,
the store is Halloween.
Yeah,
it's called Halloween.
It's the same gutted out Christmas tree shop from December that they just changed seasonally.
I know. And then she posted in the middle at late November, I think it was. Also, I was Maleficent for Halloween with this cute guy, and it's like them in a different costume, and it's like, well, it's been a month.
Yeah.
And the caption is weird because it's like, also, I did this. And it's like, yeah, but you did that a long time ago, Britney.
Yeah, and it's
that was
like
a while ago.
She's in a Maleficent costume, but he's just wearing large red headphones as if he, can't be around loud noises.
I swear to God, if you scroll through her entire Instagram, it's like listening to it's the narrative of a person's dream. Like that's how much each post makes sense.
Wait, did you fucking see this? November 22nd, she just posts like a not even good quality shot of the book, The Four Agreements.
Yeah.
And then Mario Lopez comments and he goes, one of my favorite book ever. Yeah. Do you follow comments by celebs? Because that's one of my fucking favorite things.
Yeah. I love it. One of my favorite books, or no, my favorite book ever. Listen, it's a great book. I love the Four Agreements. It's a lot of wisdom in there. But I'm just like, I want to know what's Britney getting from the Four Agreements?
I don't know. I don't even know what the Four Agreements is fully about. I mean, I know it's a self-help book.
I'm not. I don't mean this to. It's gonna sound mean anyway. But I'm not fully convinced that Britney can read. So I'm just like.
Well, she could have listened to it on audio.
Yeah, she could have. That's a good point. Thank God. Thank God for audiobooks, or none of our celebrities would know how to read.
She posted a poem too. I got to read this. Softness with strength, sexual, still spiritual, independent yet connected, deeply rooted but free, flawed and sacred. I am a woman of many shades. Who I am is for me to define.
Yeah, she'll like post a Rumi quote, and then she'll post like, here's my new shoes.
Oh,
and it's like, God. You can have both of those things, but it's like her new shoes are like shoes she found somewhere. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, they're not like, I just, you know what? Maybe the poem's right. She's a woman of many shades.
But then I just clicked on the author and it was just like a girl in a floppy hat who looks like she's lived in LA too long. The Rumi quote, though, I see that was from November 1st. It said, the wound is the place where the light enters you.
She actually posted a Rumi quote? I was making that up.
Yeah.
Holy shit, that's so funny. I was literally making that up.
Yeah, no, it's right here, November 1st, baby. The wound is the place where the light enters you.
Oh, Lord.
You know what? I just hope she's okay, and I hope Sam and her take nice care of each other. I'm intrigued because like she has kids. She's had them for a while, but they're not that old yet, and like you don't see them
they're
enough.
They're in their teens.
But like they're still like under mother's care age, is what I mean.
Yeah.
And like, are they all right?
I mean, I don't see them.
I worry about them. You know, I just want to make sure they're okay.
Yeah. Who knows? Let me tell you what. I would take my parents every day. I'll take them over and over again.
That's a greeting card, Rosebud.
Yeah.
That's a nice.
I'd take my parents over Britney Spears.
For Mother's Day, maybe get that one printed.
Yeah. That's sweet.
Oh my God. What else?
Speaking of celebrity couples, Emma Stone is engaged to be married.
She's engaged
to a comedy writer.
Yeah.
Comedy writer on SNL. Mm-hmm. Which is like nuts.
Yeah.
These fucking SNL dudes are
right. They
are cleaning up.
Pussy.
They are cleaning up.
It is so crazy. It's just like, it drives me. I actually had like a semi meltdown about this over the weekend because I saw and I go, oh, of course. I was like, male comedians get to marry Emma Watson. And I was like, female comedians get to be fluffers who fuck men who will later marry Emma Watson.
Emma Stone.
Emma Stone, sorry. Yeah. Emma Watson.
Emma Watson is different.
She's better. Yeah. Emma Stone, guys. It's the redhead.
But yeah, that I saw that. I was like, you know, I mean, I feel like good for them.
Yeah, his name is Dave McCary. No, not good for him. I'm pissed.
I think it's good
for him, not good for her.
I think, why not? I think she's like, she's Emma Stone. She's going to be worshipped by him.
I don't know. That's my worry that she is not. Because
I think she will.
Because it's this kind of Brooklyn hipster attitude that I see on his face that I worry about. Even though someone in the biz DM'd me and said that she met them over the week, over the past week, and that he is tall and handsome. And I go, well, I fucking hope so.
Good looking.
I fucking hope so.
He's a handsome guy.
Not handsome. It's not jumping through these photos enough.
I mean, I don't feel like men are ever like as attractive as women in general. Like, I think
every now and again I'll see there's I find Blake Shelton to be very attractive. Like Blake and Gwen, I like that. I'm here for that. I think that's sexy.
Gwen I was watching The Voice the other day and I was like, holy shit. She looks like she's been put in a fucking time capsule.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
She looks frozen.
Oh, yeah. I mean, she doesn't look, it's weird. She doesn't look frozen to me.
Oh.
But her face is like incredibly.
You're sleeping. I'm trying to capture it now. Alfred sleeping delightfully.
I know.
In Rosebud's lap.
But she does look like just almost like plastic. It's crazy. Mm-hmm. Anyway, but she's gorgeous. So whatever.
I'm dying to know what celebrities are actually doing to me. They're because there's more that we don't know. They're not telling us everything.
No, and that's totally okay.
Oh, it's fine. I think there should be things that only celebrities get to know. Obviously, that's why you're celebrities. Like, and I think the fact that you have to share your entire fucking life with the world, like, you should have perks. And like, if you're drinking like, weird blood from, dead people,
Deer.
whatever it is.
If you have to go out to the woods and you have to bite the head off a rabbit,
Yeah.
that's fine.
You keep that to you. That's fine.
That's money in the bank for you.
Yeah.
Anyway, also the woman who does Gwen Stefani's hair extensions did my hair extensions
Oh.
once in LA and was like showing me pictures of like Gwen and her husband and like the Christmas texts that they would send, and they seem very sweet.
Okay. Do hair extensions hurt?
Yeah.
The whole time, or just when you're getting them in? Because I kind of wanted to get them. I decided
I got
wanted to
them
have, like,
for the
long
bird
flowing.
taping, and I really loved having them.
But
I
how long
loved
did you
it.
keep them in?
Just for the night.
Oh, I
They
mean
were
like
just clip-in extensions.
like long term ones that you glue in and that you live in for several months.
I heard those hurt like a bitch.
Yeah.
Also, just like having the clip-in ones for the night, I was like, this doesn't feel like normal. Like, it just doesn't feel normal. It starts to feel very messy the next day. Mm-hmm. You start to feel like I just woke up at someone's house that I barely know.
Yeah, and I have such easy hair. I worry that like then having something else that I have to spend a lot of time on.
Yes.
Like, I'm very blessed. My hair is very like can look fine, just like pretty easily.
You got great hair.
It's
And
well,
you
that's
can
why
grow it out like a motherfucker.
But that's why I don't know how to really. That's why I'm not good at hair though, because my hair is easy. So I don't really. I'm like kind of bad at styling it. Like, I'm really good at makeup and like not great at hair.
Just get somebody to style it for you.
Every day.
Yeah. I don't understand.
Just come up.
What's the fucking problem?
I would love pro hair and makeup every day. I really do like that.
Hi, Alfred. I love you too. God, he's really loving me tonight. I don't know what's going on, but we are connected.
Yeah. You know what? It seems like maybe you are pregnant.
Don't say that.
Well, don't have so much cum in you.
I can't help it. It's my kink. Ruin my life.
It is. It's just so. It's so funny. I know that is your kink, but it just doesn't seem like it, knowing you.
I know it's wildly irresponsible. Anyway, so what's making you less lonely this week?
Oh my God. Sorry. What's making me more lonely are these fucking Emma Stone engagement pictures.
Oh my God.
I can't stop looking at them. I'm just so mad. Okay. I've never been less happy for two people.
Oh my God.
Wait, and he looks so Jewish, but his last name is McCary, which you can't. I don't think that is. You're legally not allowed to be Jewish if your last name is McCary.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, I'm done now. What's making me less lonely this week? There's a series on Netflix called The Toys That Made Us and the Movies That Made Us, and I can't stop watching them, and I cry during every episode. I watched the Ninja Turtles episode, the My Little Pony episode, and the Home Alone episode. And if you don't cry during it, you don't have a soul, and you didn't have a childhood that meant anything.
Oh my God.
Like, I love. Okay, so I like.
You need fucking help.
I love toys. I love collecting, and like, I was a girl who was very into. I wasn't a tomboy, but I very vividly remember Saturday morning cartoons, watching Ninja Turtles. I used to have this whole choreographed thing that I would do where I would jump off the couch and karate kick in the air, and then go turtle power. And I loved April O'Neil because she was a journalist and she looked great in a jumpsuit, but she could hang with the boys. And I just like really loved that cartoon. It really spoke to me, and the story is so beautiful. I had no idea, like, it was created by these two men who, and it just I love friendship in twos, whether it be male, female, whatever it is. And it was just such a beautiful bromance. And they created Ninja Turtles as this underground, literally, like, when you go into a comic book store and they have the independent comics that someone like hand drew and made, 50 copies of. That's how fucking Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles started. And it's now one of the highest grossing toys of all time, and I just think that is like, it was just so beautiful. And then you see them get back together like after years, because of course like stuff happened and money got in the way, but like they always had each other. They created these, it's so beautiful. You guys gotta watch it. Like I can't.
I can't.
It was so nice.
I can't.
It was so nice. It was so good.
All right, well, I'm gonna say what is making me less lonely this week. I can't with you. This is like insane. She's spiraling.
Just me. I'm 34 years old. I'm just in bed crying over the bromance of the creators of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which is exactly how I. Also, I had the flu all week, so I was like very like Sudafed up and emotional. But also, I've been very emotional since I did shrooms. So in a good way, like it's all coming out, and I'm very happy.
Yeah. Well, I feel like every time you cry, you make more room for joy.
I'm the crazy one.
It's true. You're like emptying your trash. Anyway, I started watching The Voice again this week. I've taken a long break from watching The Voice, and I started watching it again this week, and I was like, I forgot how much I fucking love this show.
I love a singing contest. How's everyone's team doing?
I mean, everyone's doing pretty well. I was just paying attention to each singer.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And just the dynamics of the show, because like normally a reality show is so it's about like tearing other people down, and
The Voice is about lifting others up.
Exactly. It's what America fucking needs right now.
Yeah.
Okay, it really is. It's like, it's no surprise that we went from American Idol, which was so like, you suck, you stink.
At the time, I loved that.
At the time, it was perfect.
Yes.
But now we need something that's like about creating joy for yourself. And that show is like, it's incredible the way they like make these people feel. Even if you don't, it's like, even if you don't make it to the end of The Voice, you are still like, you've got tracks that are going to be on Spotify. You got tracks that are going to be on Tidal or whatever, listening platform. And you're performing in front of so many people just every night, and it's like, it's making people's dreams fucking come true.
Oh, I love that. Nothing makes me cry like dreams coming true.
Every single scene is the only scene that I liked in A Star Is Born, which is when Gaga walks out on the stage and she starts singing to those people for the first time. And I will watch just that scene from Star Is Born over and over again, because it's like, that's the shit that I want to see. Like, I don't give a fuck that you picked a shitty husband who pissed on you at the awards, which is like,
that scene bothered you so much, and it it made me enjoy the movie so much more knowing how much that scene bothered you.
I fucking hated that.
Like, because you had seen it before me. I guess you went to see it with Blair or something.
I just rewatched it. I fucking hate that movie.
And I saw you tweeting about it, and I was like, I can't wait to see it, and I can't wait to see this scene, and I thought of you the whole time.
I'm like, who the fuck would stay with this guy? He'd rather kill himself.
I think
he'd rather kill himself than come to your fucking concert.
Yeah,
because your manager said one fucking thing to him.
I know.
Sorry, I just blew it for everybody. I'm sorry if you haven't seen it yet.
No. If you haven't seen it by yet, get your life together.
You're right.
You're right. Talking about this came out a year ago.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Let's get it together. Anyway, so I truly don't like that movie, but watching The Voice is watching this one scene in A Star Is Born that I could possibly emotionally come to.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
I still remember watching Kelly Clarkson win the first ever American Idol, and how fucking happy I was for this woman I had never met.
Yeah,
I was just so genuinely fucking happy for her.
Yeah,
and so excited.
It's so exciting to see people like making shit happen for themselves.
Yes,
I'm like, that's
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
My fucking kink. That's what I'm into.
That and the cum. Yeah.
Well, I mean, my emotional kink.
Your emotional kink, yeah. I mean, I love watching videos of either like dog rescue transformations.
Yes.
Or, dreams coming true.
Yeah.
Especially in
you know what? It's
areas
really the
that
same
I don't work
thing.
in.
It's in the same genre. We're all a rescue dog. Just trying to make our dreams come true. Okay.
I love it.
I think we can end on that. That's good, right?
I think that's good.
You guys tune in next week. What do you have to
Well, I
plug?
wanted to tell people just on Comedy Central to watch Jessica Kirsten's special, just because I fucking love her.
Yes.
And I think that that
special was fantastic.
This is so overdue for her. It's Bill Burr produced it, and shout out to him for recognizing that she absolutely needed a special. But yeah, she's so wonderful.
Bill Burr and all things comedy, which is a great.
Yeah, Jessica's just like a wonderful person and a wonderful comedian. One of the few people in New York that I consider the unfollowables.
Yeah.
And check that out. And then for me, links are finally up for Albuquerque, New Mexico. So Friday, December 22nd, I have 2 shows in Albuquerque, New Mexico at Kilt Brewery with A. Marie Castillo. Everything will be on my social media. And then I'm heading to LA. So Monday, December 30th, 8 p.m., John Campanelli and I are in the Belly Room. And then the next day, I have some shows at the Comedy Dojo at Sycamore Tavern. But anyway, all the links are finally up, so you can actually purchase the fucking tickets now. Oh, and I have some merch for the holidays. I made a limited edition underwear. I'm so excited about it. Had a small woman-owned business make them, and I gotta say, such a better experience than I've had with merch in the past. So shout out to Becky Rodriguez and Jackie, who designed it. All women designed, made by hand. They're 3 different pure pairs of underwear, thongs, briefs, and they say like wildly fucked up things. And I was like, is this too much? And then people really liked them, so I got excited.
I loved them.
Because I was like, is it too much to write I had a nice childhood on a thong? And I go, I mean, I would wear it. And it turns out a lot of other people would too, because the sales were great.
That's great.
Yeah, I was like,
That's
really
awesome.
happy. Well, it just like it goes along with like me doing things I want to do. I've been asking my reps for years to make underwear, and they never want me to make underwear because you're not making a lot of money per piece the way you are with t-shirts, because t-shirts are just more popular. And I go, yeah, but like I fucking would like want underwear. I want to make underwear. It goes along with who I am as a performer. Yeah. I'm just gonna fucking do what I want to do. I'm like, merch is not really about making money for me. It's about like kind of like getting the brand out there more.
Right. Yeah.
Having people think of me as they're making poor choices.
Yeah. Well, I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
I wanted to say thank you to anybody that came out to Woo Ha Ha Comedy Club. I feel ridiculous saying that.
I felt ridiculous watching you say it.
And Worcester is exactly what it is. It's a town.
My mouth gets hungry for a submarine sandwich when you say that, like a hoagie.
Yeah. My mouth gets hungry for a better town. But anyway, no, Worcester's fine, but I did have a great time.
That's the town slogan. You can get a shirt that says "Worcester's
I'm
fine."
hungry for a better town. It's like written on the Worcester on the Worcester sauce.
One of the hottest guys I ever saw had a huge tattoo across his chest that said Worcester on it, and I still follow him on Instagram.
Checks out. That does check out.
What a smoke show!
A lot of men there missing teeth. Anyway, you can follow me on at Rosebud Baker on Twitter and Instagram, and that's all I got.
Oh, my philanthropy gal, our producer Mike Coscarelli, is at Mike Coscarelli. Thank you so much. We love you, and we'll talk to you next Monday.
Bye.
Bye.